What up? This is Robert Ory.
Ory, three-pointer. Buries it!
You might know me as Big Shot Bob.
To Ory for three. Oh, unbelievable. This guy is off the charts.
What's going on, Big Shot Bob?
Robert Ory from downtown.
You okay over there?
Yeah.
You look more confused than Luka Doncic.
No, I hit something, all of a sudden you guys became like huge on my screen. I'm like, what the hell just happened?
What'd you do? Welcome to episode 198 of the Big Shot Bob podcast. 2 shows away from episode 200, which we'll have to figure out who we're going to have join us as a ceremonial guest here for episode 200. Just a quiet week. Just nothing going on. Immediately Friday. When did all this go down? Saturday?
This was midnight Saturday.
Midnight Saturday. Okay. So it would have been...
So it was the first.
Right. So it would have been the first. And I'm immediately getting hit from people on Twitter. The minute you guys put up this week's show, the whole thing goes out. I'm like, I know. Look, man, we don't control this, okay? We have no control over the fact that it seems like week to week we get some kind of wild post-credit scene on this show. And it never fails. It was arguably, I'm going to call it probably the biggest trade in NBA history. I don't know if we've had one of this magnitude with the players that are involved in quite a long time. Obviously, the biggest story of the year so far. Luka Doncic to the Lakers, Anthony Davis to the Mavericks in just what is a wild, crazy little deal here. It was Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a 2029 first-round pick to the Mavs for Luka Doncic, Max Kleber, and Markieff Morris. I'm just going to start, before I get into the specifics, and I have so much audio, and I have so many storylines here that I want to talk about with this trade. I think our group text initial reaction was probably a good litmus test for the entire country. What happens is Harp sends it out to the two of us, and we both go, yeah, that's bullshit. And that seems to be like what everybody was like, yeah, that's not real. And, oh no, it was very real. Where are you on all this?
You know, I'm still scratching my head like most people, and because you look at it trying to look at it from both sides, and I know why the Lakers did it, and I know why the Mavs did it. So I'm gonna start out with
okay. You've already got one up on me because I get why the Lakers did it. I don't understand why the Mavericks did it.
See, here's the thing with people always see what's on the surface. They never see what's underneath. And people don't understand that Luka, remember we just talked about the guy who just signed with the Mets and he was trying to bring all those people around?
Oh, Soto. Juan Soto.
Yeah, Soto.
Yeah.
That's what Luka's been doing. But when management changed, Luka was like not doing the things he was supposed to because, they just had a report like everybody that he liked is gone. And then when new management comes in, when we talked about this on the show before, where guys have, this person in the locker room, this person in the practice facility, this was Luka. And these are all things that people don't know about Luka. He has this entourage everywhere. He has this. And there's the other big thing. Luka doesn't practice with the team. He does a lot of stuff that's supposed to be team-oriented, but he does it on his own. He doesn't do it with the team. So it's so many things like that when you talk about building a culture. And I know that's what Nico said. I want to build a culture. I want to do things in a certain way. And people don't know about, all they see is the surface, like I said. And so that's one of the things, when you're trying to build a team, it alienates yourself from your teammates. Kobe didn't do that. Dream didn't do that. Shaq didn't do that. Clyde, Tim, all these guys that I play with, these greats, they didn't alienate themselves. But that's one of the things now that these young guys do. They get with their trainers and they say, oh, I'm going to go do my own thing. Now, you do that in the summertime. Now this is teamwork. This is what we pay you to do. And I think, Mark Cuban, from what I heard, had allowed him to do all that. But when new ownership came in, it was like, nah, dog, this is a team-oriented sport.
Harper?
I don't think there's anything that could have prepared me for what came across that screen at about 12:30 a.m. on Saturday. when I saw it,
Bravo to you for being awake, by the way.
well, I mean,
My old ass was sound asleep. I saw it when I woke up and was like, oh.
yeah, I mean, I was chilling, and obviously my TV is on ESPN. I feel as though it starts the day on ESPN and then I end the day on ESPN. So I'm looking, and I said, it came across my phone first. And I said, man, ain't no way in hell. I said, Shams must have got hacked.
Yeah.
And then I saw it come across the screen on TV, talking about some breaking news. And I said, in what world do the Mavs trade Luka Doncic? In what world does a 25-year-old perennial All-NBA All-Star at the beginning of his prime get traded in the middle of the night?
Well, it wasn't in the middle of the night in the West Coast.
Well, yeah.
Well, but it's still late.
It's late.
Even if it's 9 o'clock at night, that's still pretty late. Pretty damn late.
And the crazy part about all this is, the crazier part about it is, it's one thing if you were shopping him, which is crazy in itself. But obviously, like I said, like Rob said, you don't know everything that's. I know for a fact that the Mavs were sick and tired of him not, coming in shape. Him being overweight.
We're going to talk about this.
Right, all that. So I understand that. And obviously there are other things there. But the crazier thing with this is that it's an under-the-table deal with one team.
Yes.
Obviously, Nico has a relationship with Rob Pelinka. He's coveted Anthony Davis for quite some time. He's wanted Anthony Davis there for years. And to be so sick of Luka, to pick up the phone and call Rob Pelinka and the Lakers, and you start to initiate this trade. Rob Pelinka could have never thought this would have ever happened. He probably looked at the phone and was like, man, stop playing. April 1st, we got a whole 2 months before we get to April Fool's Day. You a little early with this.
What are you doing?
Do you want Luka Doncic? The hell you mean do I want Luka Doncic? And so to make that trade and to have that conversation, because usually any other time that's something that's opened up to the entire league. It's bring your best offers, and we're going to listen to the best offers. But for the simple fact that they're so sick and tired of Luka that they did this with one team over weeks, because I think this went over like a 3-week span, because the report is that initially there was supposed to be more to this offer, but Rob Pelinka talked Nico, which is crazy. Rob Pelinka talked Nico into saying, hey, he's not going there. No, you don't need this. You want Anthony Davis, take Anthony Davis. So he literally convinced him to lessen the trade value and then trade him for what they traded him for. Yeah. This whole thing is crazy. I've already started somewhere. It's kind of like you don't even know where to start.
I know. It's a humongous story, and there's so many layers to it. The thing that just completely melted my brain about the whole thing, and there are layers of that, but how many draft picks were moved in the Gobert deal?
5?
Like 4 or 5?
Yeah.
How many draft picks were moved in the Harden deal?
A lot.
4?
There was 4 that was moved in the Miles Bridges. What's his name?
Mikal Bridges.
Yeah, that was
Mikal Bridges.
Mikal Bridges.
Yeah.
In the Knicks,
Yeah. So the fact that this happened with one first-round pick involved is bananas. The reality of that is, again, whatever you feel about Luka Doncic and how he acts behind the scenes, or what his conditioning was, and all the layers of whatever the Mavericks feel about him, you're right, Harp. How do you not go, okay, well, if you're only going to get Anthony Davis and a first-round pick out of this, let's open this up to the market. Let's talk to some people. Let's see what offers are out there. Do we have better players we can layer into this deal? Are there 2 or 3 more picks that we can layer into this deal? And the fact that the Mavericks let him go for practically nothing, with only one team in the conversation, is freaking nuts and hard for me to understand. For me, the Lakers made out like thieves in this deal. Now, losing Anthony Davis sucks. It does. I feel like LeBron and AD have built a nice thing in LA. There's all this bullshit rumor now, too, about LeBron and AD. Oh, I don't know. It's kind of, they're not getting along. And I think that that's kind of like somebody trying to control the narrative on the other side. That's just, that's why they moved on from him. No, they moved on from him because you had an offer on the table that was just way too good to pass up for what is effectively a guy that's 6 years younger, could be the next generational star in LA. Now let's speak to the conditioning of it. Do you believe that, Rob? Do you feel like he was coming in out of shape? Do you feel like he was maybe playing over the weight they wanted him?
Regardless of what your weight is, I always feel like I don't know if you guys remember a guy by the name of Hot Plate. That dude was a point forward, and he weighed like 300 pounds, but he could still get the job done. And that's what I worry about. Can you get the job done? Luka was getting the job done, so I don't worry about his weight. I think we all go back to the point in the playoffs where he was drinking a beer and microphone says, "Give me that shit, man." But you can't drink it. And I think that you laugh about, but I don't worry about a guy's shape. I know when I got to the Spurs, it's like, oh, we need to get your body fat down. My body fat was at 13, 14%. They say we need it under 10%. I'm like, why? I'm like, who cares about my body weight? Can I get up and down the court? Yeah. Yes. Can I compete at a high level? Yes. And to me, I don't worry about a guy's weight. Now, if they're saying he got hurt, his calf got hurt because of his weight, then I worry about that. But that to me is a load of crock. I think we get in this day and age where a lot of these teams are so caught up on nutrition and your body weight and what's your fat, what's this, what's that. At the end of the day, are you getting the job done on the court is the most important thing. I don't care about anything else.
Well, one could argue that from the standpoint, we get that he is we call him a generational player. He's all NBA. He's a 5-time All-Star. All these things at the age of 25, turns 26 at the end of the month. But one would say, obviously to whom much is given, much is required, and there are a lot of expectations on that plate, that defensively, he is a liability.
Well, he has been for a while.
He can't stay in front of anybody. And
don't even try.
and it's one thing for us to know that, but it's another thing that even though they got to the finals last year, it's another thing for that to be completely exposed. He did not have a good finals. I know they talked about what he averaged 30, but if you watch those games,
he gave up 50.
And it's not even just that. You saw his lack of conditioning just getting up and down the floor. There were times where he just looked lazy. And here's the thing. They recognize, and here's my whole thing about this move. And I know anytime that you can land a guy like Luka Doncic, cool, you land him, especially for the price that you landed him for. I love Anthony Davis. And we know when AD is healthy, he is dominant on both ends of the floor as he has been with the Lakers when he's played. And so it hurt to see him go. But obviously, if you're going to land somebody like Luka, you're not going to be able to keep AD as well. So it hurt to see him go. But at the same time, Luka thought that Dallas was an issue. You're now coming to Los Angeles with their real expectations. How long do you think the LA brass and the LA fan base are going to be okay with your lazy ass running up and down the floor and being 270 pounds and not coming into camp in shape and trying to hear the same complaints?
Well, I don't know. How many years were they okay with it with Shaquille O'Neal?
Shaquille O'Neal's the most dominant force of all time. That's a whole different story. Because you know what? Nobody can stop Shaquille. Mm-hmm. We've seen people slowly.
I don't think Shaq only came into camp out of shape once that I know of.
Really? I don't know. Shaq would tell you he came in every year out of shape.
And Kobe had
there was only one season he showed up in shape, right. And that was the 2000-2001 year.
And Rob, Kobe had issues with it.
Yeah.
Kobe would always complain about, hey, you're not where you need to be and where you should be for us to be as dominant as we possibly could. I just want to see how long it's going to take before LA fans who have real expectations start to complain about him bringing that same concept over to Dallas.
Yeah. But what's weird that you say that, because I was thinking the same thing. Yeah, people don't realize this. It took AD 2 years to figure it out. People forget AD used to come into the season out of shape too. Remember 2 years, the year, not this past season, but season after before that.
Yeah.
He came in the season, you're talking about he had back issues.
Oh, yeah, you were talking
back
about
issues.
That. Yeah,
he was out of shape.
Yeah.
You can look how fluffy he was. And remember, we talked about a couple of years back how fluffy Luka came into it, and I think they're banking on everybody learning from LeBron, to get the ultimate machine, but here's the thing. Luka, when the season's over, what does he do? Out the country he goes. And so sometimes I think brands, they think because of our brand, we can change the individual. But it's going to be up to the individual to change. And hopefully Luka can change, because I said the exact same thing yesterday on the show, that the LA people, I'm just saying the LA market, that includes everybody, fans, in front office, everything. If he doesn't perform at a high level and he doesn't get in shape, he doesn't cut out the antics, he doesn't appreciate his teammates, he's going to hear about it, and he's going to get his money from somewhere else, but it probably won't be from the Lakers.
And I look at it like this. There shouldn't be anything that humbles you more than you being as accomplished as you are, being the future or one of the faces of this league,
and getting traded. And
a team trades you the way that they did, and you missing out on the supermax that you could have signed this summer. Yeah. You missed out over $100 million now being
$116 million.
And that's even worse because you go into a LA market whose state income tax and federal income tax is ridiculous.
Yeah, that 116 gets you to even.
Yeah, they're actually doing this press conference right now.
Oh, are they really? As we speak. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll speak to that, and we're gonna talk about our friends at DraftKings in a second here, and then we're gonna come back because I still have audio from Stephen A. Smith I want to play. I still have some audio from Nico Harrison I want to play, and I have some audio from Charles Barkley that I want to play. But to the money
of it.
Can we
skip the Stephen A. one?
Yeah, we can skip the Stephen A. one. I don't care.
Is he yelling? If he's yelling, skip it. If he's not
he
yelling,
wasn't yelling. He actually brought up a point that I was like, okay, that's at least interesting because it speaks to the LeBron of the situation, which I thought was kind of interesting.
Okay, cool.
On the money, he was eligible for a supermax extension with the Mavericks this season. 5 years, $345 million would have been the supermax. It would have been the largest contract in NBA history, surpassing Jason Tatum's $315 million deal. Instead, now, because he's now no longer eligible, the most that the Lakers could offer him would be 5 years, $229, a difference of $116 million. So the question is, do you feel like maybe that contributed a little bit to the Mavericks deciding to make this move to go, okay, well, look, we're going to have to pay this kid $345 million, and we're not really thrilled with a few things about him. If there's going to be a time to move him, now's probably the time.
I feel like that's a piece of the pie. But I also want to go back. I think sometimes in this whole trade, we talk so much about Luka, but we acting like AD is a fucking bum. It's like, we forget at the beginning of the season when the Lakers was using AD properly. We were talking about, this is the MVP season for him.
Right. This is how we wanted to see him. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's just a piece of the pie where everybody is like talking about the $345 million max contract. I guarantee you, new ownership. I don't know if they got Mark Cuban money or Mark Cuban got their money because I don't know anything about the new ownership, but that could play a role in it. You think about, even though we always talk about when they got rid of Shaq and they got rid of Shaq with it was basically money because Shaq wanted a certain amount and Bus was like, no, I'm not giving you that. That's too much for our team. We can't have other players to make the team successful. And I guarantee you, it probably boils down to money because that's a head scratcher. $345 million for a guy who ain't won me a championship?
I mean, he got you there. He got you there, though.
That's like going to the prom with the most beautiful girl in the world. Next thing you know, you think you're about to get a little bit. She jumps out the car and goes out with your best friend or your brother. It doesn't matter if you get me there. It's taking me home.
Finish the deal is all I'm saying.
Exactly.
Here's my thing, though. But I do hear what you're saying. But I think in this situation, let's say, for instance, okay, we bring up Wemby. Let's say when it's time to re-up for Wemby, he hadn't got you there. Does it mean that the Spurs shouldn't pay him?
Oh, God, no. They're gonna pay him.
But does Wemby have all the antics and everything that comes along with that? Does this, people are not talking about this, do the players like playing with Wemby? Because right now, the players in Dallas were a little upset at how Luka acted on the court, how he didn't practice with the guys, and how he just kind of alienated himself. That's the whole point. If you have one guy versus 11 guys that don't like a certain guy, I don't give a damn how good he is, You can't win with that because 11 is more than one.
Well, yes, absolutely.
Pretty basic math. Yeah, that's an Alabama grad right there.
But I was just speaking from the standpoint, but you're right about the antics. Obviously, that makes it a lot easier for a team to say, "Hey, now we're not going to pay you that kind of money. We don't believe you, but we don't believe you deserve it, and we're going to move on." I guess I was just speaking from the standpoint of, we started looking at guys who, I guess, are looking for the extension and are probably worth the extension from the standpoint of them being franchise players, but they haven't gotten you there. I'm like, you got to pay guys, if you want to keep them just for this. They say you don't pay guys for what they've done for you. You pay guys for what they think they can do for you and what you see their future being down the road, which is the reason why they didn't pay Luka, because it's like, we don't see you as a future here.
Well, clearly. Now, I'll tell you what, though. If Mark Cuban's still in charge of this team, this never happens.
Never happens.
This never happens. Like Mark, I love Mark. Yeah, who was it? Somebody texted him. Who was it? Who the hell said it?
Chandler
Parsons. Yeah, who said he shot Mark a text and said, "I'm confused," and Mark's response was, "Me too." So am I. And so it's like, clearly, look, and we know Mark is fiercely loyal. We know that Mark maybe lets these guys get away with more than they should have, and in turn, though. He's going to help them, show them loyalty, keep them around, pay them what he feels they deserve to be paid, and hopefully do so in a manner where you could still put some pieces around him and still get some guys. So if Mark Cuban's still in charge of this team, this never happens. But yeah, I do feel like money played a humongous part in this whole thing. All right, we have more to get to on this. Obviously, it's the biggest story of the year so far in the NBA, this massive trade. But I do want to say hello and shout out to our friends at DraftKings. Because this is going to be a big week for DraftKings, man. This ain't the itty-bitty, teeny-tiny bowl. This is the Super Bowl, man. This is Super Bowl 59. You can get in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 59.
Man, scoring touchdowns is the key to hoisting that Vince Lombardi trophy. And you have a shot to score big by betting on them at DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code BigShotBob, that's Big Shot Bob, for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. I said that code, Big Shot Bob. When you just bet $5, that's $5, $5. Only DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
The crown is yours. I am super excited for the big game. I am every year. So if you want to get in on the action, DraftKings Sportsbook is the place to do it. Now we got to do the legal mumbo-jumbo at the end. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 plus. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. New customers only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, visit dkng.co/audio. Thank you to our friends at DraftKings for hanging out with us this week. We appreciate it. And we are going to talk a little bit of Super Bowl coming up here. All right, let me get to the audio around Luka real quick here. I'm going to start with Stephen A. Bear with me. I know it's Stephen A., but I think there's a point here to be discussed, and I'm curious, Rob, how you feel about this.
The Los Angeles Lakers made a statement. We're moving forward. We appreciate what you've done, but this is no longer your franchise. This is Luka Doncic's franchise now. You can go out there and do what you want for the next year or so, but this is no longer yours. No one has ever said that in the 22 years that LeBron James has been in the NBA, Shannon. No one has ever said that to him. Not Cleveland, not Miami, not Cleveland again, not Los Angeles, not even the league. It's been his. And the Los Angeles Lakers, with this move, said, we appreciate you.
Yeah.
We don't mind you sticking around. If you want to leave, leave. If you want to stay, we're happy to keep you. But this is this man's franchise now, and his name is Luka Doncic.
I always laugh when they said, this is Genie Bus's franchise. Let's be honest about this.
I don't know who the hell you're talking about. Yeah.
Let's be honest. Who's the starter team now? That's a different story. The starter team now is Luka, and what Luka can help this franchise, and the direction he can help this franchise go. And I think, one of the things I think has been hard for LeBron is to take a step back. He said it for 3 years that almost take a step back and let this be AD team, but he didn't. You know, everybody, let's be honest, he didn't. Because it was AD's team in the beginning of the year, and then all of a sudden the offense changed up. Now you got Austin Reeves trying to score, you got LeBron trying to take over. It went away from AD. Now you got the ball. It says, okay, I've been harping this all season, get the ball out of LeBron's hand. Now it gets out of LeBron's and AR's hand. Now it's going to be totally in Luka's hand. Now, will Luka, you know, do what he's supposed to do and get other people involved? You know, we talk about his triple doubles, but in most part, Luka, in my eyes, is a very selfish player. He looks to score a lot of times, and all the other things we already talked about. But when you want to be successful, you gotta be in shape. You gotta appreciate your teammates, and sometimes you gotta look out for them before you look out for yourself. You know, if he's a hot guy, give it to him. Because I've seen times where some guys on his team have been hot, but he looks around like, oh, I got to get my shot because I am the guy. No, this is a team sport. Go with the hot guy, use him. So it's Luka's team right now. You know, once he gets on the court, and we don't know when he's going to get on the court
It says
because
Saturday.
of that calf.
Yes, they're shooting for this weekend, but we'll see.
Yeah, shooting for this weekend, but it's a calf injury, and you know, if his past, what has he been doing? Because when you got a calf injury, you know what that means? You can't run up and down the court. You can't do many things to stay in shape. You got to make sure you eat right, stay in the pool, do treadmill work in the pool. And I don't know what his conditioning was and how he was to maintain it, but we'll see. And that's going to be, to me, a gauge. And also, I think the Lakers, if they don't make another move before the deadline, they're really just saying, fuck this season. You know, we're going to get ready in the offseason to rank through, because the way the team is constructed now, they need a big, you know. They need something else. And this, just Luka, he can't carry this team.
Yeah, I think they're going to try everything they possibly can to try to solidify that 5 position, because, you know, God bless Jackson Hayes. I don't think he's not the guy that could be the guy for that team to help them continue to move forward. He's a good backup. He's a good guy to give the guy, you know, some rest and to be a good second option, but I don't think he's the guy moving forward. And I think they're going to try everything that they possibly can, especially still having that 2031 first round pick at their disposal. They're going to try to use and try to exhaust every option, make every call to every place that has a guy that they would like to try to land a big man, and then to continue to shape this team in the offseason. Because not only are you thinking about between now and the trade deadline, but you're also thinking about the offseason. And realize this, Luka has one more year on his deal, and he's a free agent in 26, after the 26 season. You then have to convince him to sign an extension.
Yeah, I was going to bring this up because, what happens now if he decides, you get, what, a year and a half of him?
Sign
and he
trade,
decides,
baby.
right, and that's just it. And then he decides, you know what, I don't like the criticism. I don't like the spotlight. I don't like the media. I don't like the state tax. Get me the F up out of here. And then what have you done?
But you know,
what has happened now?
But here's the thing: you got to understand that there's no way that Luka won't. He have to do a sign and trade unless he's gonna say, "Fuck it, I'm gonna play 1 year with somewhere or 2 years and then do." You still got options, and that's what I'm looking at, because if he's on the trajectory like he's supposed to be, who in the hell won't want him in the sign and trade?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And the Lakers going to open, it ain't going to just be one team.
Oh, no, this is going to
They're going to open this up to everybody.
Yeah.
So
Everybody have a shot.
I think for Luka, if he does stay, he's going to sign that 3-year deal with the option for that 3rd year, and then be eligible for the supermax at around age 28.
Okay.
So everybody wants to sit up here and say, hey, this is Luka's team moving forward. Yeah, but you got him. It's not Luka's team until he signs his name on the dotted lines of some form of an extension. Because right now, after this season, he only has 1 season left. Mm-hmm. And the Lakers need to know, they really need to know by sometime this offseason if he's going to commit to them, because they're going to make that offer to him this offseason. So they've got the rest of this season to kind of see how everything works out. And what Luka can't do, if everything is working out and he loves playing with LeBron, that's fool's gold. because LeBron is not going to be here much longer. He's 40. So you can say, yeah, I love LA and I love playing with LeBron, but you're like, LeBron ain't going to be here much longer. Yeah, you like playing with LeBron now, but LeBron may have another year, another 2 max to play. What happens when he leaves? And they're trying to now build around you. Are you still going to love playing here when LeBron is no longer here? That's the whole point.
Do you think, and let me ask you this question, I'm going to play Charles Barkley. Do you think Luka and LeBron can play together? Chuck's not sold on it.
I don't think Luka and LeBron can play together. That's my personal opinion. Because neither one of them can play without the ball. That's going to be very fascinating. So we're looking at them down the line. I think they brought LeBron in to be a mentor for Luka. Like Mike just said it, LeBron's body is incredible. He's one of the greatest players ever, but from condition, I think they're hoping that rubs off on Luka.
Rob, it's kind of exactly what you talked about already. You hope that you can look at the model that is LeBron James and go, hey, buddy. Go,
I laugh because he said they brought LeBron in. He's already there, dude.
Well, I know. I mean, it's Chuck. He's talking out of his ass. But I like the idea of if that's. But I agree with him in the sense that, and we talk about this all the time with when we talk about the trade scenarios of where guys could end up and stuff. Having 2 very ball-dominant guys who have to have the ball in their hands to score. Now, like you said, LeBron has been saying for a while, I need to learn to take a step back. You may have to. And you may not have a choice here in order to get Luka a little bit of momentum here. Because Luka has to have the ball in his hands.
Luka has to have the ball in his hand a lot. And the game is played at Luka's pace. And, Lakers, the team, they like to get up and down a little bit. Luka will every once in a while. So it's going to be very interesting. And that's why, for me, it's like, and I hate to say this, is because it's going to take a while for LeBron to adjust to Luka and Luka to LeBron. Even though LeBron had a little bit of taste of it with Westbrook, because Westbrook is a ball-dominant player, but he wasn't as ball-dominant as Luka is. Because I don't think I ever seen Luka go down the court and spot up in the corner for a shot. You know what I mean? And so it's almost like, him and when I think of players that play like that, Westbrook, Harden, these guys got to have the ball in their hand. And so Luka, you're going to have some practice time. And here's the thing about practice. You don't go hard in practice. So practice is not like a game situation. And so it's going to take a minute. And I'm just going to, I'm going to have a first hand to all this because I got to do the radio, do the TV, and it's just going to be. You're going to
be in it.
It's going to be interesting.
You're going to be in it. The only last thing I want to talk about, we're going to move on from this because there are other stories to talk about. De'Aaron Fox got moved to the Spurs. We absolutely have to talk about that. However, does this complicate? This is already a complicated issue, right? Trying to get this thing to fit, trying to get this thing to work. Is it more complicated by the fact that you're doing it under a first-year, first-time head coach in J.J. Redick?
Is he really the coach? Ain't LeBron the coach?
Yeah, okay. But
I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. I think so because it's going, JJ is an arrogant person. He's going to feel like, it's my way or the highway. And so he's going to have to, find that connection with Luka. I'm sure you probably had a connection with some of his players, but Luka is the type of player that I know you're going to have to find a connection with. If you don't, he's going to be like, we need a new coach. Who are you going to get rid of in this situation? Luka or JJ?
Yeah, it's a lot of factors. It is a lot of factors how they, build this team out, how it's going to look for the remainder of the season, what it's going to look like in the offseason. Also, when we start talking about, ball-dominant guys, we're not going to act like he just didn't come out of a situation with Kyrie, who was also a ball-dominant guy.
This is true.
But Kyrie could play off the ball better than everybody that I know.
Kyrie's used to playing with LeBron James, too. He spent a lot of time playing off LeBron.
But even when those two played together, they were still considered both ball-dominant.
They were.
Yeah.
So, it's worked before, and it worked enough to where it got them to the finals. So we'll see. It's just when you have those two guys, you got to have other guys being able to knock down their shots as well. So Austin Reeves and Dorian Finney-Smith and Rui, all of you guys, when that ball is swung around to you, guess what? You got to knock down your shots because LeBron has gotten better at three-point shooting, but he's not a spot-up shooter, and Luka for damn sure ain't a spot-up shooter. So
not at all.
It's a lot of pressure on everybody else too to be able to knock down their shots.
Well, it's not going to be some pressure on AR because he going to be gone, man. They're going to trade his ass because if AR is just a poor man Luka, so you don't need a poor man Luka. He out of here. Watch, I'm guaranteed they trade him. They can get what they want.
Well, I mean, you need a big, so maybe AR can contribute to getting you what you need here down the line.
Luka and Rui are probably like not sleeping at night, checking their phone constantly.
Oh God, yeah, because they traded Anthony Davis in the dark of the night. What do you think they're gonna do to AR, man? He gonna show up for practice like the Jets player in that meme, trying to scan into the building, and ain't gonna be letting him in. His badge don't work anymore.
And I'll say this:
what team was that got? They moved the team out of the whole city. In the middle of the
Baltimore.
night?
It was the Colts. Yeah, right out of
Colts.
Baltimore, man. See you middle of the night. Jim Irsay took the team, said bye.
Yep. I'll say this for a lot of obviously this sent shockwaves around the league, so you had a lot of the superstars commenting on it.
Yeah.
I'll let y'all know. Everybody was like, well, dang, who is safe? I'm gonna be honest with all of y'all, and y'all should know this because y'all are in the business. None of you all are safe.
No.
Just one guy.
Who's
Who?
that?
Steph
Curry.
Oh,
That's the only guy that's safe.
You're right. You're absolutely right. He's
is
the one
the
that will never go
safest.
anywhere. Yeah, he will never go anywhere.
He is the
Hey,
safest.
I'm sorry. It's three guys.
Who?
LeBron, Bradley Beal, and Steph. Because the other two,
Bradley Beal
they
got no trade clause. He ain't going nowhere.
There's no trade clause.
Bradley Beal ain't going nowhere.
But everybody else, and to be honest, without the no
Oh,
trade clause,
Wemby.
Yeah.
no, he's
but
safe right now. No,
for now-
Wemby's safe.
For now.
He's safe for quite some time.
For now.
The Spurs would be idiots to because my thing, you're San Antonio. You're not very appealing anyway. So what would be your reason for trading Wemby right now for some years at least?
What was the Mavericks' reason for trading Luka Doncic?
Well, they had reason.
Yeah,
They had
I know,
reason.
but right. So we don't know what the hell goes on behind the scenes. And maybe Wembanyama's a huge diva behind the scenes. We have no idea.
But from
no
people
clue.
that I hear, there's a difference between the city of Dallas and the city of San Antonio.
They both ain't got no state tax.
No,
So
but I'm just
that's-
talking about what else does San Antonio have? Like just the city, just everything. What else do they have?
They got the Alamo.
Let's move on.
They got a lot of stuff in San Antonio, man. I love San Antonio.
Hold on. Rob spent time in San Antonio. Rob knows.
Okay.
Don't listen to Charles Barkley say, "Oh, they got fat
No,
women."
this ain't
I
got
tell
to
you
do with
what,
Sean.
They
Riverwalk's
got beautiful
fun, man.
women,
Dude,
and they got the Dominion. They got the
Riverwalk
they
is
got
fun.
SeaWorld. They got a whole bunch of stuff, and they got great food. So
Right.
there's a lot of things in San Antonio.
I
you can like.
understand that. Let me see. I understand all that, and I'm not crapping on San Antonio, but I want to sit here and get your honest answer to this question that I'm about to ask you.
Oh, crap.
You've played in 3 cities, right? Houston, L.A., and San Antonio.
We're just discounting Phoenix completely.
He don't even count Phoenix. He didn't even want to be there.
Jimmy's trying to get there. Rob can't get out of there fast enough. Yeah, okay.
So 3 cities. And be honest, this has nothing to do with. I'm not saying that you don't love San Antonio, but when it came to the vibrant nature of said cities, respectfully, I want you to put these things in order from the most vibrant city to the least vibrant. I'm just talking about
LA,
the city.
Houston, San Antonio.
That's all I want to
That's not
know.
fair.
That's
That's
all
not
I
fair,
want to
man.
know.
Shut your bum ass up, man.
That's all.
Not fair.
That's all.
Can't be doing
That's
that.
not a fair question, though,
Why is
really
it
isn't.
not?
because you said vibrant.
What I'm saying is the Spurs would to get somebody like him in that city, and they really haven't. They ain't had much since Kawhi was there. Like that's a city that.
But that is a franchise with a championship pedigree.
That's true. I'm not knocking that. I'm not knocking
You
it.
know what? It all depends. You know, when you go to San Antonio, who you are as an individual, what you like to do. So,
Yeah, Rob
Every
told us
city
on the
needs to-
team playing, they all sit around and read the Bible.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
didn't say
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing
say
wrong
that.
with reading
Send
about
each
the
other their
Lord.
favorite Bible passage.
We can do that in any city.
Yeah, Rob's trying to play poker and they're condemning him to hell. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we don't read about the Lord.
All right, well, listen, we're on San Antonio. Let's talk about it. De'Aaron Fox goes to the Spurs. We were. I think this was when we were talking about all the places that De'Aaron Fox was going to go. I think that was the place. I think was it you, Rob? You were like, man, that could really work well for him. Sure enough, there you go. The Spurs get De'Aaron Fox, Jordan McLaughlin. Kings get Zach LaVine, Sidney Skisco, and 3 first-round picks, 3 second-round picks. So look, there's 6 picks tied up in this one, Dallas. And then the Bulls get Kevin Huerter, Zach Collins, Trey Jones, and their own 2025 first-round pick back.
What are the Kings doing? Because Levine and DeRozan can't seem to get away from one another.
Yeah, I guess not. They just keep continuing to find each other.
Y'all the Sacramento Bulls or the Chicago Kings.
Yeah,
What's up? Like,
I like it. But I think this was the best of all the options for De'Aaron Fox. I thought this was a cool place for him to be. I'm excited to see how this works with him and Wembanyama, because I think that we've seen flashes of it a little bit with Chris Paul, of what you can do with a dynamic guard. So I'm anxious, man. I'm anxious to see what this looks like.
Yeah, with Chris Paul is more of a facilitator,
right?
Compared to
different type of
Fox.
player.
Yeah,
much different type.
But I'm really interested too, because they got some good pieces over there. Even though Harrison Barnes is up in age, they got some good young talent over there. So it's gonna be really interesting to see how he's able to fit in that, because he likes to play at a high pace. Meaning Fox, get up, down the hole, get to the hole, get to the rack, take over the game. And it's gonna be interesting to see what they do on this one, man. I'm excited for their future if they can keep them together.
Yeah, I think I agree completely.
Yeah.
But I think this is gonna be one of those give them a few seasons kind of things.
Yeah,
But
not this season, but next.
yeah, exactly. But I like it for him. I think it's a good fit. I do think it's a good fit. The Jimmy, here's one that we could have predicted this one was coming. So the bet last week was, by the time we tape this week's show, is Jimmy Butler still a member of the Miami Heat? I was firmly in the know. I figured there would be a deal in place, and damn it, it got close. Except Jimmy continues to shut down every trade that's put on in front of him that isn't landing him in Phoenix. So I guess they got real close with Golden State. Apparently, Jimmy said he was not interested in signing any kind of an extension with the Warriors. That was from Brian Windhorst, so he shut that down fast. There have been other options on the table that continue to get blown up at every corner. And the joke now is that it does not matter how much time or money is offered to this man. If it's not from the Phoenix Suns, he ain't taking it. Why is he so hell-bent on landing in Phoenix?
Does he have a girlfriend? He got property? He got business there? I don't know.
Something, right?
But I just feel like if you gonna keep closing all these doors, then there's gonna be none left open for you to go through. And to me, dude, it's basketball. Something that we get paid to do. Something we grew up loving to do it for fun. Take the job, move on from there, and figure it out. Because right now, you costing yourself a lot of money by being suspended. So I don't know. I'm not his agent.
No.
I'm not his confidant. So who knows?
I thought we'd be further down the road with someone.
I didn't think so.
I did. I really believed it. I believed at this point. I mean, you are what? The trade deadline's Thursday.
Yep.
Yeah.
You have 2 days till the trade deadline. The hell are you doing? You're going to sit out the rest of the season? You're going to refuse to play next season? You're just going to keep leaving money on the table? Like, at some point, you got to go, if I want to continue to play in the NBA, I'm going to have to take a deal.
I'm going to text Jimmy Butler Sprewell's number right now.
For real.
I'm like,
you and Latrell have a little conversation, man, because, dude, I don't know what he's doing. I just don't know what he's doing.
I know why he wants to get – he's at that stage where he can still play but doesn't want to go somewhere where all the pressure is on him. So KD's there, Booker's there. So now you become just another Bradley Beal.
Yeah, but Golden State, I don't think all the pressure would have been on him.
Yeah, but I also think he doesn't feel as though – I don't think – well, one, Golden State said they're not going to give him an extension. So that's why he's not going to Golden State. They've already said, we know what you want. We're not paying you. Like, the only person that's getting paid that is the guy his name is Steph Curry. He's on the squad right now. Yeah. They know they were not going to give him another, because we're not going to have Steph roll out and then look at you like, okay, you're the next in line for this franchise. Yeah. That's the kind of money, that's what that means when we pay you that kind of money. I'm not going to have two guys on the floor making north of $50 million. Just not going to happen. So, yeah, that's why that went. And I guess he feels as though Phoenix will, and I'm like,
Yeah.
why would they get rid of one guy just to bring in another one? Who wants that kind of money?
It's the whole. I'm over here refreshing Twitter to see if anything wild came out of the Luka Doncic presser too. I'm trying to see what's going on. Well, now we just got all the pictures of him holding up the 77 in the Lakers yellow. So I don't know. We'll see if anything pops up out of that. But yeah, Jimmy, I don't know what the freaking hell Jimmy's doing. We talk about Golden State a little bit here. I just wanted to mention this. The Golden State Warriors apparently have been, according to Jake Fisher and Mark Stein, trying to reunite Kevin Durant with the Warriors, like trying to bring his ass back.
Kevin Durant, they want LeBron.
Let's run it. Yeah, that was the one. So that was the story. The story was there's some dream in the Warriors front office that they're going to get LeBron and KD to come in and play with Steph Curry on like the AARP team and just go ahead and ride it out. So, but it's like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's feasible. I just don't know if it's feasible because I don't know what the Warriors would ever have to move to try and get a Kevin Durant back.
Heaven and earth.
Right. Or God forbid a LeBron James. And that would have to be LeBron's decision to leave at that point. But dude, I don't know, man. I don't see that one happening. But that's all over the place. Apparently, the Warriors have called on everybody, according to Shams.
So, we all know Bob Myers, and we was like, okay, he was a great GM. Who's their GM now?
Hold, please.
Ain't the former player, right?
Goodness.
It's the former player. What's his name? Somebody's son?
Mike Dunleavy.
Yes, Dunleavy.
Mike Dunleavy. Mike Dunleavy. That's you will get taken advantage of. Someone's like, you out here begging? Somebody please give us a superstar.
Hey, posting your credit card on Twitter, just asking to be scammed. You know what I mean? Like, can somebody get me a superstar? Anybody? I'm paying. You're paying? Oh, okay.
Sitting outside with his little cup.
Yeah.
Money, please. My porridge, please.
Superstars? NBA superstars?
Hey, if you was smart enough, you would have been like, who can I trick, do a sign trade, and give you Klay Thompson? But you didn't do that. So
no. I'm
like, you messed up.
Yeah,
Hey, we all love that episode of Dave Chappelle. I fucked up.
My favorite Chappelle clip ever is where he's at the table and I think he was playing Obama or the president or something, and they were asking him all these questions about how he's going to handle something. He's like, well, and he just turns the whole thing over. I've used that meme like a million times online too. Just turn the table over and run like
that. May be the most used, one of the most used memes of all time.
Oh God, so good. This is so good. All right, a couple quick stories here. We'll do Big Shot of the Week, and then we'll play this week's game. No more back-to-backs for Zion. In a recent statement, Zion said, let me make this clear to everybody out there. If I could play back-to-backs, I would. Physically, yes, I can. But I work for the Pelicans, and they've decided, based on the numbers, it's not smart to do that right now. If that's what they feel, I'm rocking with them on that. He's been limited to 13 games this year, and New Orleans said they are not going to be playing him in any back-to-backs.
It's.
I don't know how I'm feeling.
God bless New Orleans.
Things, man.
You think about the troubles they've had this year.
Oh, it's been a mess, dude. DeJounte Murray tore his Achilles.
Yes, and then Zion in and out.
Zion's
guys
been
are
busted.
happy because they're getting thrown in trade talks and like
Brandon Ingram. It's just, dude, it never ends, man.
And it's quietly CJ's like, can I get an extension in between all this mess that's going on? So it's just. Move that team out of New Orleans, send them to Vegas, and call it a day.
Dude, telling me. Thank you to both of you for not bringing up the fact that they were my sleeper pick this year. Because I
forgot about that until
they ain't woken up. So
hey, let's be honest, we all have one bad pick.
Yeah, you said the Sixers are going to the playoffs. We're never going to let that die. All right, well, look, we got.
What about your New Orleans Pelicans? We can never let that die. Either.
No, we're not. No, I won't let that die. I'll continue to shit on myself for that one. That's justly so. Are you doing anything fun for the Super Bowl? Do you guys ever do anything for the Super Bowl? You got on a party? You going to someone's place?
I might have a couple of options this.
I don't have any because I don't have a dog in this fight. And
I'm a moocher. I always see who having a party, and I go mooch off them.
Dude, that's the way to do it, though. I'm down for it. Usually, like, if there's something, if we're involved in it in some way, or somebody's team is playing, a big party. But now it's like, I don't care about this.
Yeah, but I mean, well, you don't. You said you're not rooting for either team.
I don't know. I don't want to see Kansas City win 3 in a row, but I really can't root for the Eagles either. So I'm like kind of torn.
Are you having the same feeling about Kansas City that a lot of people had with New England?
Yeah, I'm starting to get a little bit of fatigue.
I don't feel
I'm
that
starting
way.
to get a little bit of fatigue.
I feel
Here's my thing.
totally different.
I'm starting to feel like Kansas City has gotten so many calls. And when you can tinfoil hat this thing all you want. I don't care. I see it. And I'm getting tired of it. And it seems like the refs are wearing KC red because it is just they get more calls than any team I can remember. And now again, I could be full of shit. We could have the same. This could be the Patriots of the 2000s all over again, where it was like the Patriots got the benefit every call. I'm getting now. Look, I think Patrick Mahomes is the best damn quarterback in the game right now. I think no matter what kind of odds you stack against him, he finds a way to win. But that said, I think he's had a couple beneficial calls go his way. And KC, I'm starting to get a little bit of a KC fatigue. Plus, he's in every other commercial, and I'm like,
well, that's what happens when you're a winner.
I guess so. I'm starting to get fatigued, but
I think the Kelsey brothers are more.
Yeah.
I only see T-Mobile with Mahomes. That's
oh
the
no,
only one
that
I see.
damn State Farm shit.
State Farm
him
too.
and Andy Reid in the State Farm commercials.
Well,
Fumblerooski.
you knew that was going to happen to Kelsey. One, because of who he is, and now he's dating Taylor Swift.
That's
So, I
it.
mean, that's...
Yeah, his star's on the rise.
Yeah, so...
You're going to see more of him.
I'm taking, but just for prediction purposes, I'm rolling with Kansas City.
Oh, I think Kansas City.
Yeah, because you say you go. If you wouldn't have said Kansas City, I'd have got on a plane right now and check you into a mental hospital because you already said that Mahomes is the greatest quarterback ever. So if you weren't picking them, I would have thought something's wrong with you.
Oh,
But I can still have that statement to be true, and they can and still pick against. Like,
yeah, we're on. Was it 17 years ago? Tom Brady got handed an L in the 18-0 season in the Super Bowl because David Tyree caught a football off his helmet from Eli Manning. So it's like, yeah, the greatest of all time could still lose. Man.
And I mean, didn't Nick Foles beat Tom Brady too?
Sure did.
So I mean,
Sure did.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people see Tom Brady as the greatest quarterback of all time. So I just think I'm taking them for the simple fact that when you give Andy Reid enough time, one of the greatest play callers of all time.
He's incredible.
I think when you give him enough time, he's been here before. I mean, the Eagles have been here before too, but
yeah,
to know what it takes to win this type of game, like I have no problem with Jalen Hurts. I would love to see him get a Super Bowl because I think as a man, I think I salute
Saquon
him.
Barkley too.
Saquon too, yeah.
Rooting for Saquon, but I'm with you. I just think Kansas City's in these types of games, they always find a way to win. Plus, they got all the refs in their pocket, so it's like
Lord, here we go.
It's tough. It's just tough. All right, let's do Big Shot of the Week, and then we're going to play this week's game. Big Shot of the Week is going to go to a gentleman named Jerry Hicks. Jerry's a master carpenter from Banner Elk, North Carolina. Here's why he's getting Big Shot of the Week. Jerry stumbled across a $20 bill outside a Speedway gas station. He decides he's going to take this 20, he's going to go inside. This is found money. I'm going to buy me some scratchers. Dude hits $1 million scratcher. On the 20 he found in the parking lot.
That's crazy.
He took the bulk payout up front, which totaled $429,000 after state and federal taxes.
Oh, that hurts.
When he was asked what's he going to do with the money, he said, quote, "We're going straight to Golden Corral and eating everything they got." Good.
Interesting.
This man just won $430,000 on a free scratcher he found in the parking lot. Dude's going to Golden Corral. Big shot, young man.
I know there's still a lot of money that he walks away with, but to see what the state and the federal just ate up, bro, that kind of hurts.
Well, so the annuity option was like $600,000 over 20 years or something.
Oh, hell no.
And it's spaced out over 20.
Oh,
I'm like,
no.
Dude, take the bulk. Just take the bulk.
Especially
payout.
for that.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
But oh man, how much? $429,000 goes a long way at Golden Corral, bro. I'm just saying.
Shit, you can buy a Golden Corral for that.
I'm just saying. When's the last time you were at a Golden Corral?
Junior year in college was the last time I was at a Golden Corral. We used to go to Golden Corral like all the time because we didn't have no money. We sit up there at lunchtime, we eat, we'll sit there at dinner time, eat again, and leave.
Dude, I can't tell you the last time I was at a buffet. Couldn't do it on a bet.
Vegas?
Yeah, probably. Had to be Vegas. That's because everything's a buffet in Vegas. Hart, but I think
Do you do
and I
Sunday
did the breakfast
brunches?
buffet. We did like that breakfast brunch buffet thing. I think that's the last time I was at a buffet, but I couldn't tell you the last time I've been in a Golden Corral.
It's
man.
been years, and I'm the fact that
You could throw a rock and hit one from right here too, and we ain't never been over here.
And I thought COVID killed him off.
Yeah, you'd think, right?
Yeah.
Look, man, if I know nothing, COVID can't kill a redneck.
Golden Corral is like
Golden Corral will live on forever.
it ain't going nowhere.
Ain't going nowhere. All right, let's do this week's game. We're going to play around a shootout here, and here's how shootout works. I'm going to give you gentlemen a category, and you just have to go back and forth until one of you can't come up with an answer. That's all. Easy. And the first one of you that can't come up with an answer gets buzzed out. The other person gets the point. For instance, Trae Young hit another monster game winner last night. A big one in Detroit. Did not make this year's All-Star team.
Yep.
So the shootout is the guys that made this year's All-Star team. We'll start with Robert Horry.
LeBron.
He's on there.
Giannis,
On there.
Jokic.
Yes.
Tatum.
Yes.
I'm about to say AD.
AD, yes.
Wemby.
Yes.
Women made the All-Star team?
He sure
Hell
did.
yeah, what you mean? What kind of question is
What the hell
that?
are you talking about?
Yeah, you talking about?
Shit, I forgot who you said now. So
Giannis, Tatum, AD, LeBron, Jokic, and Wemby. Were the
did we
ones
say Steph yet?
no, Steph Curry is
Yeah.
on there.
Brunson.
Jalen Brunson.
First timer, Kate Cunningham.
Yes, Cunningham. Good job.
Another a guy that got a big boost from where he is now, Karl Anthony Towns.
Yes, Cat had made it.
Have we said any Cavs yet? Donovan Mitchell.
There you go.
I feel like we're running out.
Nah, you're about like 2/3 through, man. You still got a bunch.
Did KD make it?
He sure did.
Sagoon.
Very good.
Yeah, Sagoon.
Let's see how many guys left here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You got 10 left.
Dang, got all them people left. Did LaMelo make it?
He did not.
Dang.
Buzz
No.
that man out. No,
I just thought about it. You forgot SGA.
Oh, I forgot about him. Yeah.
Shea. How about Darius
about Shea.
Garland?
Garland.
How about Evan Mobley?
Because I remember
Jaylen
Cleveland had
Brown,
three.
Yeah.
Damian
I was-
Lillard, Tyler Hero,
Hey, I was
Siakam.
mad at myself. I said Cleveland because Cleveland had three, and I thought I gave you a hint.
I'm tripping. Yeah, I knew.
Did
I
I
forgot.
thought as soon as you said Cleveland, I'm like, oh, he's gonna run down the other two right away. Yeah,
I lost my mind.
that's all right. All right, point Robert Horry. All right, question number 2. Big game is this Sunday. We talked about it, obviously.
Oh Lord.
We always go and we try and hope to steal a little bit of food at everybody's houses. So according to Delish, the top 25 dishes that are served at a Super Bowl party. Rob, you got the point. You get to go first.
When you say food,
The things
I
you
guess
eat.
anything you eat.
When you say food,
Hot dogs. Hot dogs.
hot dogs. Very good. It's on the list.
That's on the list.
Sure is. Hot
Anybody
dogs.
have no hot dogs at no Super Bowl party?
It sure
Yes,
is.
they do.
Wings.
Wings are on there.
Come on.
Wings
man.
is probably number one, huh?
Yes.
It's so chips.
Chips are on there.
Pizza.
Pizza's number 2.
So you haven't said number one, huh?
No, wings. Wings was number 1.
Oh, hamburgers.
Burgers is on here.
Really?
Sliders, yeah.
Sliders. The sliders.
Sliders is going to count for all burgers and sliders.
I wonder if this.
Come on,
counts
think about
'cause
what you put your Big Mitts in a bowl of something.
But most of the stuff I eat, I already named.
You said wings and pizza. That's it.
He's a wing and pizza guy.
He's dipping out wings and pizza. I'm out.
But see, I already said. But I was gonna say chips and dip, like nachos.
Yeah, it counts as chips.
Dang.
Come on, give me something.
Dang, man. We got all day.
Out.
Yeah, he's out. Oh, dude.
Queso. salsa.
Yeah, got cheese dip.
Wait, isn't that the same? Ain't that the same thing as chips and dip?
Sandwiches, cheese fries, pretzels, spinach dip, potato skins.
So that's not the same thing as chips and
chicken
dip.
nuggets,
Dip, I dip, we
popcorn.
dip.
So that's not the same thing as chips and dip.
No,
Okay, fine.
You can say dip. Well, that don't
He
mean-
said chips. He didn't say no dip. Dip was still on the table.
But I said chips and dip.
You said chips.
And dip.
He
All
he
right,
said
fine.
chips- he said
Even if you
chips
took
and
that
dip.
off, there was like 13 more on here.
But
Jesus
this
Christ.
game should still be going.
Took too long.
All right. It's 2 points for Rob. One more, he's going to win this game. Groundhog Day was Sunday. This past Sunday, also one of Bill Murray's best movies. So the shootout is
Oh shit!
Bill Murray movies. Come on, Bill Murray been in 100 damn movies.
I know.
Rob, you got the point. You get to start.
Let's go with one of my favorites, Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters. Very good.
Man.
What are you talking about, dude?
It's like I know Bill Murray, but I can't remember his movie.
Been in a million movies.
Oh, what's the animated one he was in? It was a Disney movie. Cause he had the episode where he had this big old pimple on his face and it burst. Oh, what's the name of the movie?
I know what you're talking about.
I forget the name of it, and now I don't know.
And you're out already
Yes!
on one movie? You can't name
Training
one
Day,
Bill Murray
sir.
What is it? What?
Training Day. Stripes, man. One of the
Stripes.
best
You're thinking of
movies he's ever
Osmosis
made.
Jones.
Osmosis Jones.
The movie you're thinking
Yes.
about. Yeah, I mean,
Hey,
dude,
boy, you can't
Ghostbusters,
Oh,
Stripes.
but it's. Groundhog, you know.
Yeah,
Caddyshack, man.
Space Jam.
Space Jam.
Space
Yeah,
Jam.
Space
Come on,
Jam.
Bill Murray getting
Yeah.
dude, iconic. So good. All right, well.
I can't. Those are the only ones I know. I don't know any more Bill Murray movies.
I ain't
well,
know a whole
it's
lot.
all right,
of them.
Harp didn't know one, so you
No, I knew one. I just didn't know I forgot the name of it.
You could have said Ghostbusters 2.
yeah, I would have even given you that. Shit, man.
The last
Come
time
on
I
now.
seen Ghostbusters.
Shut your bum ass up, man.
I tell you what. All right, good job. That's a good place. to end.
Ghostbusters Afterlife.
All of the Ghostbusters. Yeah.